Hey folks, here's your Saturday story video. We are doing a thing. I don't have time to get a lot of footage for story time, so I'm just gonna let you watch me work here on this machine right here, Red Rider. We're gonna be doing a little digging. Enjoy the story.
Hey sis, Dad, Mom, come on! Your story hour's on!
Presenting Your Story Hour, building for a better tomorrow.
Hey, boys and girls, hello.
And hello from me, too. Say, Uncle Dan.
Yes, Aunt Carol?
I think we should also welcome all the moms, dads, grandmas, and grandpas to our listening audience as well.
You're absolutely right, Aunt Carol. We welcome everyone who has tuned in today.
You know, Uncle Dan, maybe it would be a good idea to get started right away. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more, Aunt Carol. Since you'll be telling our story, I'll introduce it for you. How's that?
Good plan, Uncle Dan. Go for it.
We know you'll enjoy today's story. We call it A Lot of Secrets.
Kiki Morrison, age 15, her brother Brady, 9, and father are a happy and close-knit family. Maybe they are even closer because Kiki's mother died when Kiki was just 10, and father has done his best to be both father and mother to his 2 children. Fortunately, father's profession as a 6th grade teacher at Wilson Elementary, the same school which Brady attends, makes it possible for him to have basically the same schedule as his children. Kiki, now 15 and in her last year of junior high, is determined to help with the family finances as much as possible, so she delivers papers in the morning. As our story opens, Kiki is on her bike making her delivery early one bright March morning.
Just 12 more houses to go. Phew! You think I'd get used to this hill? Now for the Huddlestons. Paper. Oh, missed the porch. Well, I better stop and go dig it out of the bushes. Where did it go? That paper's got to be here somewhere.
It's right there.
Chucky, you scared me half to death. What are you doing out here on the porch in your pajamas at this time of the morning?
None of your business.
Look at you. You've got goosebumps all up and down your arms. You better get inside.
You're not my mother. Besides, I don't have to go inside. I like it out here.
Well, have it your way. Here's your paper.
You want to see my bug collection?
Bug collection?
Yeah, see?
Yuck. Oh, they're spiders. Yuck. Chucky, what happened to their legs?
I ripped them off.
You ripped them off?
They had 8. They only need 4. So I took the rest of them off.
That's gross. That's not only gross, that's mean.
Yeah? Well, they're only spiders. Who cares?
Chucky, that's not the point. I don't think... Well, I gotta go. See you.
Just like a girl, running away from spiders. Chicken, chicken, Kiki is a chicken. You're late, Kiki.
Yeah, I know. I just had the most disgusting talk with Chucky Huddleston. That kid is something else.
Tell me about it.
He was out on his porch in his pajamas with his bug collection, which turned out to be a bunch of spiders that he'd pulled the legs off of. Is he that way in school?
Yeah, only in school. It's kids he beats up on. Here's your lunch, by the way. I just finished making it.
Thanks.
At least you get your favorite sandwiches, cheese and tomato. I take peanut butter, 'cause Chucky doesn't like peanut butter.
I don't get it. Why should you care if Chucky likes your sandwiches or not?
'Cause this way I get to eat something, at least most of the time. If I take anything he likes, he takes it away from me.
He takes it away?
Who takes what away?
Nothing, Dad.
Doesn't sound like nothing to me, but we better get a move on or we'll be late. See you later, Kiki. Be brilliant on that algebra test.
Sure, Dad.
And don't forget to lock the door when you leave, hmm?
That noon in the school lunchroom,
Well, if it isn't Brady the Wimp. You got anything good in that lunch sack for me? No, I do not. Well, let's just see. Hey, give it back. Give it back. Poor little Brady lost his lunch. Too bad, Wimp. You get your hands off my lunch. Hey, come on, Brady. Give it to him. Stop. Teacher's coming. Cool it, Chucky.
Hold it right there, you two. Both of you. To the principal's office. You know the rules. No fighting on the school grounds, much less in the lunchroom.
But he took my lunch.
No buts. Get going, both of you.
I couldn't help it, Dad. He's always taking my lunch.
Well, next time, just report it to the teacher on duty. Then you won't get into any trouble.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Usually Chucky grabs my stuff before school even starts.
Now that I know what's going on, I'll keep my eyes open. We don't want this kind of thing going on at our school. We want kids to feel safe.
Well, we don't. And it's not just Chucky. Some of the older guys in the 5th and 6th grade take lunch money and other stuff from the younger kids all the time. And you teachers never see it.
Well, if nobody tells us about it, how can we know? These guys aren't going to steal money from other kids right in front of us.
We're afraid, Dad. If we tell, they'll beat us up. And besides, nobody wants to be a snitch.
I understand, but somehow this has got to stop.
the next day, Father and the other teachers met to determine what could be done about the problem facing their school. They decided more teachers would be assigned to watch over the school grounds during playtimes, and they instituted a new school policy. Any student caught intimidating another student, stealing from him, or assaulting him would be automatically expelled, no excuses accepted. Finally, to help make students aware that it's not right to try to control and intimidate other people, they began to design programs for their classrooms based on the lives of great men such as Abraham Lincoln and Albert Schweitzer, which would demonstrate that true greatness is found in service and honor. One evening, a few days later,
Kiki? Kiki!
In here, Brady. I'm in the living room.
There you are. Have you got any glue? I want to glue some pictures on cardboard.
You need rubber cement. Rubber cement won't wrinkle your pictures. There's some in the junk drawer in the kitchen.
Thanks, Dad.
Is this for your school project?
Yeah, I'm doing a thing about Lincoln. Did you know he walked all the way from New Salem to Springfield, Illinois, to give somebody back a few cents? That's 20 miles.
Wow, I'd hate to have to ride my bike that far, much less walk it.
I bet Honest Abe wouldn't have stolen anybody's lunch at school, would he, Dad?
No, I don't think he would. And since we're on the subject, as you know, the school has adopted a pretty tough policy to protect you and the other kids.
Yeah, I know. I actually got to eat my lunch yesterday and today.
Your plan must be working, Dad.
Well, I have another plan just for us, for our family.
Like what?
Well, there are two ways to defeat an enemy. One is to defeat him by force, and the other is to defeat him by kindness.
Huh?
Hey, that siren's getting pretty close. I wonder what's going on.
Must be a fire, Kiki.
And they thought Einstein was smart.
Hey, knock it off, you guys. Listen.
Dad, they're coming up our street.
Let's see what's happening.
Look, it must be the Hopkins house.
No, I think it's their garage.
Let's go.
Dad, please?
Yeah, okay.
Bring the hoses around here. This way.
Harry, over here. You've got to keep it from spreading to the house.
Wow, the whole garage is going.
Good thing it's not connected to the house.
Yeah, that's for sure. Come on, kids, let's back up a little and give the firemen more room.
I sure hope Sherry's okay.
They're all over there. Sherry and her whole family. Sherry is really really upset.
They all look pretty upset. You two stay right here. I'm going to go over and talk to Jim and see if I can help in any way. Stay back now.
Don't worry, Dad, we will.
Well, well, if it isn't the wimp and the girl paperboy. Hey, isn't this fire great?
Chucky Huddleston, you're sick.
Yeah, what's so great about a fire? Ah, don't be so dumb.
Dumb?
Yeah, just like a girl. Give you a little excitement and you get all weird. Well, I don't like fires either. Like I said, just like a girl.
Well, this proved to be a pretty exciting night.
Not you, too.
Yeah, that's what Chucky said. Exciting.
Chucky, he was there?
Yeah, I guess you must have heard the sirens.
He seemed to be enjoying the whole thing.
Oh, come on.
No, really, Dad.
That kid is totally annoying.
Well, I guess there goes my plan.
Plan?
You know, Dad's plan about defeating enemies with kindness.
Oh, yeah. Sounds pretty far out, Dad.
Well, unusual anyway. Of course, I didn't think up the idea myself. Somebody a lot smarter than I am did that. I guess maybe it would be a useless experiment.
Experiment?
I think I get it. You want Brady to try to make friends with Chucky.
You've got to be kidding. I don't want anything to do with him.
I know, but, well, I was just wondering what would happen if you made an extra sandwich for Chucky and gave it to him at lunch. And maybe a cookie or something for dessert.
Dad, are you nuts?
Well, think about it. Wouldn't he be surprised? Wouldn't it be interesting to see the look on his face?
Get real. That's crazy.
I don't know, Dad. After tonight, I think I agree with Brady.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Forget I said anything, okay?
Phew, it's gonna be hot today. You got my lunch packed?
Yeah, it's there on the table. I'm making mine now.
Thanks, bro. What's this I see?
What's what?
2 cheese sandwiches and 2 candy bars. Are you growing fast or are you trying Dad's experiment?
Who are you? The FBI?
Just asking. All I can say, bro, is that I hope you don't earn the Purple Heart.
The Purple Heart?
Yeah. That's the medal awarded to soldiers wounded in action.
Well, wimp, enjoying your lunch? Yes, I am. Yummy sandwich. Shut up, wimp. Okay, but I was just gonna ask if you'd like one, too. I have an extra one. Oh, yeah, and an extra candy bar. Huh? A sandwich? An extra one? You want it? Yo! Let me get this straight. You're giving me a sandwich? Just giving it to me? And a candy bar. What's the catch, wimp? No catch. Here. For you. Just because I like you. Yeah, right. But hey, thanks.
That evening at the Morrison house,
Hey, Dad?
In here, Brady. Kiki and I watching TV.
Dad? Dad? I almost forgot to tell you. You were right. You should have seen the look on his face.
Whose face?
Chucky's.
Hey, shh. Listen, it's about the fire.
Both the family cars parked in the garage at the time were completely destroyed. And on an even sadder note, the family cat and her 5 kittens were trapped by the flames.
Oh,
Fire
no.
officials
I didn't
suspect
know
arson.
about the cat. Oh,
And now
I
for the
can't
weather.
believe
Sam?
it. Sherry was telling us about the kittens just yesterday in school.
They suspect an arsonist. I wonder who it could be.
We'll get back to our story in just a moment, but right now we have a word for all you moms and dads, and that word is character.
We know you're concerned about developing good character in your children, and we want you to know that we have just the tools to help you.
Your Story Hour has hundreds of character-building stories available for downloading and in CD albums. They've made a positive difference in thousands of lives, and they can do good things for your children, too.
One child wrote in, "My mommy and her brothers and sister would listen to a story from Your Story Hour every night when they were kids. It helped them learn the Bible, and every time they had a quiz game or Bible trivia, they always won. They still mimic the stories to this day."
A father wrote, "In 1972, I talked my parents into getting me a set of Your Story Hour recordings, which I still have and treasure. I was 11 at the time. And since that time, I've always wanted to tell you how much of an impact those recordings had on me."
One mother wrote, "The stories have not only helped our children to understand God's Word better, but to love God with their whole heart and to walk more closely with Him."
Chores seem to get done faster and without complaining. Settling down for the night goes smoother. And you don't get asked, "Are we there yet?" so often when your kids are listening to a story in the car.
Children love the stories. They listen over and over, and their character is strengthened while they do it.
Talk about a win-win situation. Everybody's happy. So visit our website at yourstoryhour.org. Click on products and see what we have. That's yourstoryhour.org.
Or give us a call at 1-800-987-7879 and we'll send you a free catalog. That's at 1-800-987-7879.
But right now, let's get back to our story, A Lot of Secrets.
After the fire, things more or less returned to normal in the neighborhood. Even Brady's attempt to be friendly with Chucky proved to be somewhat successful. At least, Chucky had stopped taking Brady's lunch. As a matter of fact, the subject of Chucky and his obnoxious ways, and even discussion about the fire, more or less faded from family conversation. Then one day, while Kiki was making her rounds delivering papers...
If it wasn't for these hills, this paper route wouldn't be half bad. Boy, I'm thirsty. What in the world?
Chucky! Chucky, is that you?
Better stop and check this out.
Chucky? Chucky, wake up. Why are you all huddled up here in the corner on the porch?
Huh?
What? What are you doing out here? It's still... Chucky, your face. What happened to you?
I stuck out here to sleep. That's right.
Charles Eugene Huddleston, you get in here this minute. I looked all over this stupid house for you, and you'd better... What are you doing here?
Well, I...
You what? You get your hands off my kid. Chucky, get in this house.
It's okay, just go.
But you're...
Now!
What are you two whispering about? Get yourself in here, Charles Huddleston, or I'll come get you. And I don't think you want me to do that.
I'm coming. Go, now.
And his face was all bruised. Dad, there was even blood dried around his nose and mouth.
What?
Wow.
And then Mr. Huddleston comes to the door and orders me to get away from Chucky and yells at Chucky to go into the house.
Dad?
I guess what Miss Bolingo said was true.
Chucky's teacher?
What did she say, Dad?
She's seen bruises on Chucky before and suspected there might be abuse going on, but whenever she asked him about it, he just said he'd fallen off his bike or something.
No wonder Chucky's so mean. Boy, I never thought...
I know, Brady. Sometimes we never know what someone else's life is like. Like the old saying goes, never judge anyone until you've walked a mile in his moccasins.
But what are we going to do?
It's time for some action, all right, and there's no time like right now.
That day, Father made a phone call. An investigation followed, and it was determined that Chucky indeed lived in a dangerous situation. His father was an alcoholic, and both Chucky and his mother lived in fear of Mr. Huddleston's alcoholic rages. Not only Chucky, but his mother as well had been beaten on many occasions. And as often happens in these situations, Chucky's mother felt trapped and unable to protect either herself or her son.
So what's going to happen, Dad? Is Mr. Huddleston going to go to jail?
Well, I'm not sure yet, but I think he'll go into a recovery program. If that's successful, the battery charges might be dropped.
What about Chucky?
Both Chucky and his mom will be receiving counseling to help them get through this time. Alcoholism is often a family sickness. Sometimes the husband or the wife of an alcoholic actually plays into the problem. And the kids definitely suffer the effects.
So if the whole family is treated, then everything will be all right?
Well, nobody can predict that for sure, but at least this way they have a really good chance.
I'm kind of glad I gave Chucky that sandwich. At least maybe he knows somebody tried to be his friend.
In the weeks that followed, Chucky's father seemed to be making progress in the rehab program, and his mother was doing well in counseling. Helping Chucky through his emotional problems seemed a little more difficult, however, until one day in a counseling session.
Dr. Marcus, why doesn't my dad like me?
You don't think he likes you?
No.
Why do you say that, Chucky?
Well, would you, if your father got drunk all the time and beat you up, would you think he liked you?
I see what you mean.
And he hit my mom, too. He hit her right in the face.
Sometimes when people are sick, they do bad things to people, even when they don't mean to.
Yeah, I know. I did that once.
You hurt someone when you didn't mean to?
Sort of.
Would you like to tell me about it?
You won't tell anyone, right? Unless it's okay with me?
It's safe to tell me anything you want.
It was kittens.
Oh, you hurt some kittens?
I burned them up. I didn't mean to. I didn't know Sherry's cat and her kittens were in the garage. How was I supposed to know? Sherry cried so much, it was awful. I acted like I didn't see her crying, but I did. I acted like I didn't know anything about the fire, like I was enjoying it, but I...
Why don't you tell me from the beginning about what happened?
I got so mad that night I ran out of the house and went for a ride on my bike. I was riding down Sherry Street, and the drapes were open, and...
Go on.
I saw Sherry's dad give her a hug. A great big hug. So I just went out and stacked a bunch of paper and sticks against her garage. It wasn't fair. Her dad loves her. Why can't mine love me? Anyway, I lit the stack and it started to burn really fast. I tried to put it out. I really did. But I couldn't. And then, Dr. Marcus, do you think I'm bad? I mean, really, really bad.
Of course, Dr. Marcus knew that Chucky was not truly a bad person. He knew that anger and frustration had caused him to lash out and make decisions which had brought sadness and loss to others and guilt into his own heart. He also knew that because Chucky was now able to begin talking about what he had done, he could begin to heal emotionally. As a result, in time, Chucky's behavior in school showed definite improvement.
Hey, Brady, over here. Hi, Chucky. What's happening? Sit down and eat lunch with me. I got 2 brownies, and you can have one. Really? Really. My mom made them. It's really nice to have a lunch of my own. You mean you never had? Shh. Don't let everybody hear. Is that why you always ripped off my lunch? We never had any food in the house before. I was lucky to get anything for breakfast. You're kidding. Sometimes we'd have a box of cereal. I'd eat cereal in the morning, and sometimes for supper, too, usually without even any milk. My dad took all the money, but he's better now. I'm sorry, Chucky. I mean, I'm glad your dad's better, but I never knew about the lunch thing. Hey, it's okay. I just never told anybody. I kept it a secret. I kept a lot of secrets. Man, that must have been awful. Yeah, it was. Anyway, I sure was hungry all the time. Hey, remember the day you gave me a sandwich and a candy bar? Yeah, sure I do. Well, I'm sorry I was so mean. Thanks for being my friend, Brady.
Later that evening, just before bedtime,
Oh, well, guys, I guess I'm going to hit the hay early tonight. I'm beat. Brady, it's time for you to head for bed, too.
By the way, Dad, I guess you were right.
Of course. I'm always right. I'm the parent, you know.
No, seriously. Chucky thanked me today for being his friend.
Really?
Uh-huh. I guess it was that sandwich I gave him.
Cool.
Whose idea was it anyway? You said somebody smarter than you thought it up. Who was it?
Well, I read it in a book.
About giving a sandwich to somebody?
Kiki, hand me the Bible, will you?
Sure, Dad. Here.
It talks about sandwiches in the Bible? I thought they weren't even invented back then.
Patience. Here it is. But I say to you who are listening, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who are cruel to you. And a little farther down, love your enemies. Do good to them and lend to them without hoping to get anything back. Then you will have a great reward, and you will be children of the Most High God.
Wow, that's cool.
Well, it doesn't talk about sandwiches, but I get it anyhow. And I did get a pretty good reward.
You did? Like what?
I got a friend.
Somehow, I think you understand perfectly, Brady. I'm really, really proud of you.
Wow, Aunt Carol, what an interesting story. I'm so glad things seem to be working out all the way around.
well, one important thing for everyone to remember is this. Covering up a problem doesn't make it go away. So if you're aware that a child is being mistreated, please let someone know. You'll be doing the child and his family a favor in the long run.
But Aunt Carol, sometimes people aren't aware a child is being abused unless that child tells.
True.
And I think it's a pretty hard thing for a kid to admit to anyone that a parent is hurting him or her. They might feel disloyal.
You're right, Uncle Dan. It is hard, scary, too. And the child might worry that Mom or Dad would get in trouble if they said anything about what was going on.
From what I've learned, a child can also feel like the abuse is his or her fault for not being good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just not so. Whether a parent is frustrated, tired, sick, or angry, there's no excuse for mistreating a child. None at all.
So the best thing to do if something like this is happening to you or to someone you know is pray about it and go to an adult you trust. Maybe a teacher or a pastor, family friend or relative. Ask for their help. It's not right for any child to suffer physical, sexual, or mental abuse.
And there are professionals who can help. Look in the front of your phone book under Community Services, and you'll find 24-hour hotline numbers for child protection services. Call, and they'll help you.
And please believe us when we say a problem like this is not your fault. Parents are supposed to protect their children and keep them safe. It's their God-given job.
Mm-hmm.
So if bad things are happening in your family, you need to tell someone so that problem can be fixed.
Above all, remember that God loves you very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
When you pray to him, he hears you, even when you don't pray out loud.
He knows everything about you, every bad thing that happens to you, and every wonderful thing, too. He's your true friend, no matter what.
Goodbye for now. May God bless and keep you.
This has been your Story Hour, building for a better tomorrow.
This is Aunt Carol.
And Uncle Dan saying,
Goodbye, everyone. See you again next time.